Ippy's Art Expo with guest artist Rianka in Varkala. So the signs are out, the dogs are on patrol, we've got everything, all the details there, and the welcome sign is up. We're just waiting now for people to come in and have a look around. So today is the day, the exhibition starts. Garden's looking lovely and tidy. Rianka, my friend, is here. She's got her artwork out here and she's going to be selling hers. So we're just doing the final touches of everything. So this is Rianka's work and the doggies are just chilling under the fan. So you enter into the house. Sounds of India. You come into the lounge, which has the deities and 2 board games that I made and various pieces of artwork. This is the mermaids, which is the grandchildren, and matching cushions. This one is a lovely sunset, great purples and things. This is a cross stitch I did many years ago for my deities. Then here are my deities. So this all started with getting scraps of fabric of which I made garlands, and after garlands I made flowers, and then from flowers, once I'd filled the house up with garlands, as you can see every single doorway, I started making pictures. So off the lounge we enter the first bedroom. This is a set of 8 pictures, 2 big ones and 6 small ones, which were inspired when my son brought his GoPro over and we were playing actually inside the waves. So there are various ones here, and then I did the times of day, the sunrise, full day, and then sort of evening time, and yeah, matching ones of those. This picture here is called Below. It basically represents my son. So he's a scuba diver and manager now. He used to be instructor, now he's a manager and a course director. My daughter studied marine biology in university, so this one represents my daughter with all the fish and the corals and the anemones and things. This picture here represents my father. He sailed around the world in his wishbone ketch for years. This is the island of Maria, that Shark's Tusk mountain in the distance, where I had the privilege of living in a beautiful house called the Dar House for 9 months. And this one here represents my mother. Very British garden with a beehive and its formality and order. So again, we've got some more flowers, a little bit of Aboriginal art, and then you enter into the dining room. So again, another piece. This is a little fishing hut. There used to be a fishing village just down the beach, not far from the house here. They've now built a great big restaurant there, but this was made when the fishing village was there. It's a dream catcher out of an old tyre. And these 3 represent waves. Let me just close that door a moment. So this one is low tide, so you can see lots of sounds showing. This one is sunset, with all the colours, the golds. And this one is high tide, with the darker, deeper water going to the lighter green, with the frothy waves in between and highlighted. This is just a throw that I made with a towel, which keeps my chair nice and comfortable. And again, more flowers. This one actually is a story of a bike ride from Kerala into Tamil Nadu. And there are 3 big hydroelectric pipes that run down the side of the mountain, and that's the border. But the road travels in and out and in and out. And the forests have no concept of a border. They just spread between Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So yeah, so that's called divided forests. This one over here on the door is called India Lost and Found. There are 28 states and 8 union territories in India. Each of them is represented on this picture by a button. Some of them stand out, some of them are really small and kind of just fade. Some are big, some are small, they overlap. So yeah, that was my interpretation of India lost and found. Then my other habit or project that I'm doing at the moment is journaling. This is a journal I'm designing for a friend, all to be done. This one is mine, which is a work that is being used at the moment. Various pages, each month has its own theme. February obviously is all the hearts and loves. March will be daisies coming up in UK, April wisteria, and then in May I'll be going to Egypt to see my son. These are various people's names, so based on the November when I was doing bubble writing with animals, because we went to Egypt, a family reunion in Egypt. So my daughter asked if I could do some names in that sort of style of writing. So these are various children's names that she's a home educator. And when she does subjects that she teaches, I design the heading for her, which is quite cool. Now when I'm traveling, I can't do sewing as such, but I can do hand sewing. So this is my little hand sewing kit. In this are all my threads and everything else. This is a hat that I embroidered the covering over. And this is some bunting that I made to illustrate all the different things you can do with just chain stitch, running stitch, and French knots. I mean, basically that's just a open chain stitch. But yeah, this is hand stitching. So I tend to do this when I'm traveling more. Then from here, we'll step into the second bedroom. This is the first piece I ever did. This is when I was experimenting. This is like a little privacy screen on the bed, various colours. The elephant is called If There's No One in the Jungle. I wrote a poem about that because I also write poetry. These are all some of my various poems that people can read, lots of them, and I have a book. And I've also self-published a book that's available on Amazon.com called Tiger and the Little Girl by Carrion, or by Ippy Stories. This one's called Reflections. It's sort of, it reminds me of the mountains of Wales and the lakes that we have there. This one's called Sanctuary. It's a place in Hawaii that if you did something wrong, you could run to this hut at the end. And if you stayed there for 3 days reflecting on what you had done, you could be forgiven. But yeah, you can Google it. It's island, place of refuge it was called. So I did the underground bit. This is my djembe drum, I love drums. Oh, boxes, Amazon boxes. Amazon boxes, thin, whatever, throw them in the bin. Bit of PVA glue, a newspaper, and you suddenly have a really strong storage box for things like scrunchies. These are also made out of recycled fabrics. That's a cast of when I broke my leg 3 months ago. This one's called the boat. They're actually matching cushions to go with that one, so there's a boat on there. And I got into doodling. I went to Sri Lanka for a month and learnt to doodle. So as I learnt a different style, I did a different doodle. So some of these are the places that we see. This was a stream going past some boulders. This was like the tea plantations we were going around. So we've got lots of various doodles. And then I started doing doodles in ink. So this is a swirl of paint. And then you look at the swirl of paint and you can see what you can see. So this one looked like a wave, so that was swim. This one reminded me of a murmuration, so I called it fly. That one just looked like speed, it just looked like a race. And this one needed nothing at all, it's just a hug. It just needed a simple line drawn along it. So paints and doodles. So that's this room. I also make dream catchers. I've got various dream catchers. A friend of mine made that one. And then these, and more dream catchers, and little abstract pieces of art. Because anybody can make art. I mean, when we're little, we just do cutting and sticking. These are just collages. Very simple collages. This is another one that I called fishing. So basically the boat is out fishing for the day. Oh, and what do you do when you've got only 5 kilo or 10 kilo allowance on an aeroplane? You make yourself saddlebags. And you put all your heavy stuff in your pockets and you walk through. Works out really well. So that's that room and that room. Then these are some sculptures I made. This is a wire tree. This is literally made out of electrical wire that I stripped back. And that one that was about 2 years ago I made that one, so it's changed colour. This one I've made this year, so it's still a bit golden-y colour. These are shells I collected and then made into mushrooms. And these are called little, you've heard about worry dolls in the UK? These are dream dolls. Basically, you tell your dream, they're Indian, so they've got lovely plaits and things. You tell your dreams to your dream doll and she will talk to the gods for you. And hopefully your dreams will come true. Then we come into the studio. So this is where I create most of my stuff. There's again more doodles and flowers. This was a sari that I found, really liked the different colour gradients, so I made 2 of these pictures. I make hats out of yoga mats and various bits and bobs. This here is a backdrop. I used to do stop motion pictures, Sweetie and Darling McDuck, and again more hats. Yoga mat covers, absolutely brilliant, everybody's got to have that. And art is very subjective. You don't need to be good at it, you just need to give it a go. This is literally cardboard stuck on layers and some tissue paper. This is me experimenting and trying to do waves. But if it goes wrong, you just paint something else over the top of it. This one is a reflection of the moon in the waters. Some more flowers, slightly smaller size. This is my family of dolls. This is my second family of dolls. Deborah bought my first family and has kindly lent them to me for the exhibitions. That was my first family of dolls. And then this is my second family. Again, this was inspired by Cadair Idris and the mountains up behind my house in Wales. And again, this is just cardboard and then a piece of kitchen roll over the top, PVA glue, and then painted. Everything has its place. All the boxes are labelled. These are, again, appliques. These are river sort of scenery. Got a few of those. Nice, simple underwater one. Sort of aquarium feel. And I say, my grandchildren got into Aboriginal art for a while, so I tried it. Blank canvas, because you never know when you need a blank canvas. So using that Aboriginal art idea, this is a map of my local area. And it was fun, but it wasn't detailed enough. So this one is still a work in progress. It's been abandoned for the last year. But I will finish the interior eventually. Christmas decorations made out of felt. I'm going up to help out in a refuge and orphanage and teach people how to make things. Small appliques. Again, various ones of those. These you can use for meditation, find a fixed spot, and then you just focus on a fixed spot and meditate on them. Again, more doodle drawings. These are my attempts at watercolour and some Aboriginal art, some trees and acrylics, and some more bits and bobs, and again more garlands, more pictures, and a couple of skulls I find on the beach every now and again. This is a night scene. So they're called Rainbow Mountains in my story that I told the children. And this is the same mountains, or the same style of mountains, but in the daytime. So if I never needed to film a night scene, I could use that as the backdrop. And these are just soft little toys I've been making. Again, I use stuffing from old pillows, and people want to replace their pillows and they don't know what to do with the old ones. They give them to me, and then I can make little animals and creatures out of them. And so this is the creating room. Then from the creating room we go into the kitchen. Now the kitchen, there's that door, has 2 mosques because my lovely landlord is a devout Muslim and I do like having a little bit of him in the house. when he's not here. This is a mobile. It was actually 3 mobiles once upon a time. And the people that I gave, I had one and my 2 friends had the others. One friend has unfortunately died, the other one has moved country, so I had all 3 back. So I combined them to make one big mobile. What do you do when you don't have enough space for your saucepans? You stick them on the wall. And this also, even in my kitchen, I can have art. These were olive oil bottles, expensive olive oil. Sorry, coconut oil, expensive coconut oil. That I then painted. So we have the coconut oil, we have the olive oil, we have the sesame oil, it's gone down, and we have the sunflower oil. Now I put the not expensive ones in because I don't have to buy the bottles. This is my view out of the window. Oh, let me just hang that back up. There we go. Yeah, view out the window. I mean, I live in such a fabulous place. And everything has its place, everything is in order, everything has its own boxes, electrical, plumbing, random, useful tools. Food, we have ants, we have rats, so everything goes into containers. So this is the exhibition that's in 2 hours. People are invited to come in and see. So you get a sneak preview. Okay. Oh, and I'm the artist. Thank you. So, thank you for joining us on a little tour through the house, seeing some of the pictures. These are all made out of scrap fabric, which I have from the local tailors. Every time somebody makes a shirt, there are always bits left over, which go in the bin, and then I get to recycle, reuse, and make artwork, which I have, as you can see, filled the house with. Okay, spread the love. Thank you for watching.